Welcome to part 2 of Competency 5 quiz. In this video, we will continue to model, solve, and transform linear equations. Number 6, find the solution to the following system of equations. Okay, before we go on doing calculations, it's always good to verify if you multiplied one of them by a value for each term is multiplied by the same value, would it be the same line? No. And would they, by chance, if you put them in y-intercept form, have the same slope? And I'm looking and I see that I'd have -2 divided by 3. And then, no, there is no way that that could be the same slope. And I doubt highly that it would be the same line. So I really don't think for now that I would choose C or D. So let's verify that. Well, let's pick one to put in y-intercept form. Well, one isn't better than the other, so let's just pick the first one. Okay, so we have 3y equals 24 minus 2. Divide each of these by that 3. Oh, minus 2x. I forgot the x. Okay, there we go. That looks better. Now, so we have y equals 8 minus 2/3 x. That is what we are going to use to substitute into the second equation. And remember, when you put that in the calculator, you need to subtract 64 from both sides. So let's say this is minus and it equals 0. Okay, so let's put that in the calculator so you see it. If you haven't watched other videos with me, you can justify that for yourself, okay? But at this point, we're taking a quiz and I'm trying to show you how to save some time, okay? Now, if it doesn't work out well, you can go back and do more by hand. But right now, what we need is to find out which one of these x values would work, okay? All right, so let's go to table, clear everything out, and I see we need 7x plus 8 in parentheses. We put in 8 minus, and we have a fraction of 2/3, arrow over, pop in our x and close that. Now we need minus 64. So that's a subtraction, 64. Now we have what we want. So now we push enter and we want to start at 0 and go by steps of 1 because both of our A and B are integers. That's whole situation, whole number situation. Okay, so now I just keep going. I want auto to make a list. So push enter, there's my list. So now, interestingly enough, okay, I think option B is what we want, and I'll tell you why. When we come over here and you're looking at here, we want the right side, the y, to equal 0. And that just so happens to be what we have on the first row. And when that y equals 0, it just so happens to our x equals 0. Well, that is option B. Okay? All right, now how could we verify that? Well, we take our findings of x equals 0 and we substitute that back in here into that equation that we put in y-intercept form. Okay, go second mode, and let's say 8 minus, and here's our fraction, 2/3. Now, parentheses, 0. Push enter, and it is 8. So, option B has been verified. Great. All right, let's go to number 7. Okay. Find the solution to the following system system of equations. Okay, this one's not bad. Oh, wait a minute. I'm saying it's not bad as far as solving, but do you see something highly, highly suspicious? I do. If we divided this by 3, the whole thing, each term by 3, would we not have this first question? And if we multiplied the first one by 3, would we not get the second equation? I'm saying that's the same line, one on top of each other. Same line. So in that case, that would be C. Infinitely many solutions because it's one on top of the other. Okay, so how do we check that? Not a problem. Okay, go to your table, clear everything out. Okay, I'm going to get rid of some of this here. Okay, we need to prove it. Okay, so let's take this first one. Well, actually, the first one and the second one. And let's put them in y-intercept form. So I have 6 minus x. And then for the second one, I have 3y equals, okay, I'm going to go through the process. 18 minus 3x. Divide by 3, divide by 3, divide by 3. Okay. All right, now I see y equals 6 minus, 1. That'd be x. Okay, it's the same thing. Okay, well, let's put 6 minus that x in our calculator and say 0, 0, and 0. And it gives me 0, 6. They're trying to fool you with option B. Obviously, 9 isn't going to work, but they're trying to fool you. Okay? Because that's an intercept. That's not a value. Okay? So now when we arrow down, okay, we need to find where y equals 0. Notice it's right here. It's actually at x equals 6, okay? Now, if I go and put that back in to either one of those, okay, I get y equals 0. So I'm kind of at a stalemate. It doesn't matter which one I put that back into. So that means that they're the same line, okay? All right, let's look at number 8. Given the function f of x equals 2x squared plus 2x plus 2, which of the following represents an x that reflects f of x about the y-axis? If you remember, when you reflect things about the y-axis, you are actually creating negative x, or you're multiplying each x by -1. Okay? Now, let's go through that process and see what actually happens. Okay? So I have 2, and then in parentheses, I'm going to put a negative x. Okay? And then plus 2 in parentheses, negative x. However, the plus 2 is unaltered. You do not change that. Now, that little fact, that little property helps us eliminate B and C. Now we come back and finish out. Well, what we have is negative x times negative x, or negative x squared, is simply x squared. Well, that eliminates A. Well, let's finish this. So then plus, the plus, no. If we take 2 times negative x, that actually becomes negative 2x and then plus the 2. So that verifies option D. Number 9, if a company has a weekly profit P from selling X phones is modeled by the function P of X equals negative 1/4 X squared plus 20X minus 200. Based on the model, what was the maximum weekly profit in dollars that the company could earn each week? Okay, so we just need to put this into our calculator and then check these values on the right side under our Y values. Okay. All right. So let's push table and clear that out and let's enter it. Now, see that 1/4? We can enter it like that, but be wary that you'll get a fraction issue. Here, let me show you what I mean. Okay. Negative fraction 1/4. Okay. And then x squared. What I mean is, I think we're going to get fractions and not decimals, but I don't think it really matters with our whole number values or whole dollar values rather. Okay. All right. So plus the 20x and then minus the 200. Okay. Enter. Let's start at 0. Why am I starting at 0? Well, I want to start at 0 and arrow down because I only want the positive x values, okay? Now count by ones because I see whole dollars, okay? Now let's go with that. Now see how this starts with these negatives over here? Well, that's why over here I want to arrow down and just keep going until I see those nice positives. See how it's getting less? Ah, there's my positives, but I'm not near my values. If I keep going, I had 100 there. There's 119. Keep going because looks like I need to start looking at 200. Okay, I don't know if that's going to be it. No, I don't see 200 as being valid. Okay, what about 350? That's a dollar. No, that's 175, 199. Ah, I see 199. Oh, maybe we get it. Oh, there's 200 and it's at 40. That might actually be what we need. Let's not say it is. Let's keep arrowing down. We need the next one is 350. Oh, that's not working. Look, that's a maximum. 350 won't work. See what happened? Yep, definitely our maximum because we were at 200. See how it's going back up as I go up? And yes, at 40x equals 40, it is 200. So check. We have verified option D, and those do not work. Okay, and it does say maximum. Remember, we have a quadratic that looks like that. And here, this would be 40. Right, yes, 40. And then this would be the 200. Okay, there we go. All right, let's look at number 10. I'll move this up. Okay. Number 10, Reese sells phones. His total weekly earnings consist of a wage of $12 per hour plus an 8% commission on his total sales for the week. Okay, that is our first part of the recipe. Okay, and it's time sales. Okay, so let's write this out. We have 12 times whatever hours he works plus an 8% times whatever sales he has for the first week. Okay. Now let's keep reading. On his first week, Reese works 20 hours. Okay. And has total sales of X. Well, we already have that. Which of the following represents his total weekly earnings Y in dollars for that week? Okay, so we need something that says 20, 12 times 20 plus 8%. I don't know. X. Now, if you were watch or you did watch other videos, we actually had to follow through on this. We had to calculate, and this we also had to calculate. Okay, so let's do that. Let's go second mode, back out, 12 parentheses 20. That is 240. Then our plus, and now we need to put 8. Now remember, we're saying that's a percent. So you take your 8 and you push second, parentheses open to tell your calculator, hey, that's a percent. You push enter, and it tells you what the percent should be decimal wise. 0.08 and X. Now we go over to our options and check to verify we have something. And we do. Not in the same order, but Y is exactly what we need. Now, you can verify each of those as being a non-example by rationalizing what's going on. I like this, but I don't like it being distributed. Like it's mixing parts of the word problem. I disagree with that. And then here, same thing. You can't put commission with what he worked during the, hourly. Can't put that with the hourly. So, I mean, that's how you need to know analyze what's actually going on in the problem, jot it down, and go back and verify. And X is sales. It's not sales times 12. 12 is how much he's getting paid per hour. So again, they're mixing things. I think that's basically, honestly, a test of, do you know how to break down a word problem? It simple in its simplest form of rationale. That's what that question wants from you. Okay. All right. Let's look from number 11. For the triangle ABD, A segment AB is bisected by D. You know what that tells me? One of these is A and one of these is B. Okay. And the coordinates of the point of intersection, they're saying this is -2 and 2. Okay, fine. If the coordinates of A are -4, 1, okay, what are the coordinates of point B? All right, I put that triangle in there on an exam. I doubt they'll give it to you. Maybe they'll be nice, but I don't see that happening. You will have to sketch this for yourself and think it out. Well, I drew it knowing that this would be A and that would be -4 and 1. Okay, let me grab my highlighter. And this is what I'm seeing. I'm seeing that we will have to take our steps up, and from -4 to -2, you will go over to here. Let me change colors on that too. Well, before I do that, if this is A here, then this has to be here, and point of intersection. This has to be D, and then this has to be C. That's a D, and that's a C. Okay. Regardless, we are going over A plus 2. Well, because that is a point of intersection and it says we're going to bisect, that means that from here to here is equal. So if we're going to go plus 2 from A to C, then we're going to have A plus 2 from C to B. Okay, then how much do we go up? We go over 2 and up, looks like from 1, we're going up from 1 to 2. So that would be a plus 1, and that would be 1 up. Okay, well, let's set ourselves up here. If we are starting from -2 and 2, our intersection here, then that means For x, we have a plus 2, and for y, we have a plus 1. So that all washes out to be 0 and 3, which is option D. Okay, you might want to pause the video, work that out for yourself, draw it on your own, make sure that you understand that. And there are other uh, numeric ways to solve that. I just prefer to show a picture and let you work it out and rationalize it that way. And when I'm taking a test, a lot of times an image is simpler to deal with than trying to remember the mechanics of operations and formulas. So that's why I did what I did. Okay. And if they give, like I said before, if they give you graph paper, it's a win-win. Just sketch it out. Don't worry about it. Okay. All right. This is the last number in this particular video. Okay. That's my last question. And like in every video, I'm going to say thank you very much for your subscriptions and your liking and your sharing and just watching and saying great things. The comments have been wonderful, very helpful. Thank you very much and happy testing.